Hello and welcome to another game of Dota 2. We have got Rattlesnakes and SheeverGaming in this best of 3. We are sitting in game 2. This is a best of 3 to decide which one of these two teams will move on to the semi-finals. So these are the quarterfinals of the AMD Premier League Season 2. And we'll see if Rattlesnake can force out a 2-0 or if there will be a third game and in SheeverGaming will manage to win their second game after losing the first. I am not by myself for this match, by the way. I'm joined by Kanaz. Welcome back.
Good to be back.
So, in SheeverGaming, not looking too hot in the previous game. What do they need to change in terms of their game or play style to be able to take game 2?
I don't know necessarily that there was anything wrong with their draft. Their draft, you can make arguments that maybe they weren't really running the dual core plus lineup that has sort of become popular in the most recent patches. But if you're going to run an aggressive trialing, you have to be confident you will win. You can't afford to give up kills, to give up any advantage in an aggressive trialing because it puts you really, really far behind. Simply because your supports get really far behind, and that makes mid-game very difficult. So if they're going to try and run something like that again, and I think maybe they won't give that a shot just because of like confidence issues after how poorly it went last game, you have to be certain it will work. We're seeing an Ursa ban in the first phase. What's going on?
We saw the same thing in the previous game, though that was in the second phase.
Yeah.
Yes. Maybe that's really a hero that SheeverGaming likes to play. Something they can really get ahead with. We have an Iowa Darkseer and an Alchemist ban out as well. We still have the Visage in the pool, and Shadow Demon of course as well. Also one of those heroes that we see often picked up as the first roles to be picked up. Let's see, Insidious of course previous game they did have the Shadow Demon, but maybe they now want to rather have the Visage.
Batrider is also in the pool.
Oh yeah, I've almost forgot about Batrider. Wow. Would you pick up and the Shadow Demon and the Visage?
Oh, okay, so it's gonna be OD. Alright. So this draft's kind of taking a turn for the
Let's just forget Shadow Demon and Visage exist.
Well, Shadow Demon, I could see not necessarily picking him up that early. I think you can get him pretty safely in the second phase most of the time. But Visage has been like a top ban as of late, so if these teams want it, they're going to have to pick it up basically now. It's going to be up to Insidious to take it now if they want the Shadow Demon. Nyx being picked up this early is somewhat unusual. I wonder if it's because they don't want Nyx against their Batrider, maybe?
I think that's the right way to think about it, because of course, I mean, he is considered a counter towards the Batrider. They do secure the Lifestealer instead of the Radiance, so Insidious will not be having to deal with Lifestealer bombs this game. They can actually try to make them happen themselves. However, they don't really have any hero yet that can combine up with that. So maybe a Queen of Pain or a Storm, but if they do that, they have got an OD that is not going to be going middle or... well, I'm not quite sure where that OD is otherwise going to go. Probably still middle, and then maybe have a Storm or a Queen of Pain on the safe lane would force them into an aggressive trial lane again. But you kind of want to have the you want to have you want to have a Storm bomb or a Lifestealer bomb rather.
Yeah, having a hero that pairs up well with Lifestealer for just initiation purposes is obviously very strong. OD can be safe lane farming. It's not unreasonable or even unheard of if they wanted to go that route and pick up something for the mid lane that has a natural blink or initiation spell of some sort. Naga gonna be the pickup from Rattlesnake though, so maybe they're gonna have a little bit better team fight. Do you think Rattlesnake are gonna run this as a support?
I hope they are.
It's kind of become the thing,
It's become the thing, and it's really great also for Batrider to not really need a Blink Dagger in theory. I mean, he can grab someone after the song is hit. I like it more as an initiation tool than as a anti-initiation tool, but still, if there's gonna be a Lifestealer bomb, then having a song to stop everything from happening is of course amazing. And on top of that, if Lifestealer does rage, so he doesn't get affected by the song, that means that everybody can only focus on the Lifestealer.
Yeah, I think everyone likes Naga better as an initiation tool than an anti-initiation tool, than a flee tool. That seems to always make people really upset. It'll be interesting to see how they run the Naga. Again, definitely, it's been a support hero as of late, but used to be a carry, and we've seen her in the mid lane as well. So they have a ton of options, and nothing is really given away at all by this draft. All of these heroes can be run in a variety of roles.
Yeah, and they go for the Chen. So they're taking a page out of the book of Rattlesnakes so far. Oh, look at that! Komomomo style team fight potential thing is coming up. I like it. Tidehunter.
Tide, not a hero we see a lot of.
I know. It's a shame. We saw him so much during TI2.
Yeah, it's just kind of how different the game has become. Since in TI2, Tidehunter was kind of an offlane hero a lot still.
Yeah.
And you can't really do that as much anymore. You like to pick up heroes that can farm in some way. Tidehunter doesn't get a lot of farm in the offlane. They get punished very heavily, and you can't abandon to the jungle with Tidehunter, as he has no jungling ability whatsoever. We'll see how they run it here, if it's going to be support or offlane. Certainly both are options. Maybe they picked it because they know there's going to be a Chen currently up from Insidious, and that means likely they're going to have a defensive trialing with a jungling Chen. And that's a little bit safer, unless he gets really lucky with creeps and ends up like double net creep very early on or something. Tide's not going to be really worried about getting ganked by that Chen.
Yeah. We'll see. I would like to see him on the off lane, or at least on a non-support role, because that would mean that the Naga Siren is still the support and the Nyx Assassin is still a support, as we've got the Vengeful Spirit picked up by Insidious Gaming, and of course Vengeful Spirit, high support ganking hero, so with the Chen, making a very dangerous combination for whoever will be mid.
Yeah, those two supports can definitely rotate mid and be a very frustrating combo which you'll have to lane against with the assistants. Venge is a pretty kind of short range support, especially in lane, so it can't really lay down the harass particularly well. Her stun doesn't have a great range or a great duration. The minus armor from Hull is obviously very powerful, and the aura is also very good, so they can sort of stack auras with that and Chen with his creeps. I'm interested to see where Insidious are going with their last pick. This lineup, I'm not convinced. It hasn't sold me yet.
Ooh, Rattlesnake doesn't look particularly strong. Like, they don't really have that many very core heroes just yet.
Yeah, but they have a lot of team fight.
They do, yeah. I'm not gonna deny that one. Windrunner is the last one that gets banned out by Rattlesnakes, as Insidious is still thinking about their last ban, but they have to pick fast because they only got 8 seconds left in their bonus time and go for the Shadow Fiend in the end. So let's see what Rattlesnakes ends up going with. I mean, better it could be on the off lane, and then Naga on the farming role, Tide and Nyx Assassin as supports could work.
Yeah, they could certainly do that if they wanted to. They could also pick up like a jungler here and just run Tide off lane and go super greed with like Nature's Prophet jungle or Enigma jungle. Ugh.
More team fight. Is the Darkseer
More team
out?
fight.
Yes, Darkseer is out.
Darkseer got banned first phase. He's actually first ban in the game.
Oh.
I don't know what they're going to want to do. It also might make sense for them to pick up another farmer of some sort and not just rely solely on Naga Siren, since, I mean, last game we saw them run the dual core lineup. They only have really one hero who can be considered a farmer on their team right now, and she normally gets played as support nowadays.
Yep. I have to just say that I'm slightly distracted because apparently one of my neighbors is barbecuing. And I smell...
Oh yeah, and the food smells real good?
Yes.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like tricky. That distracts me. It's a good thing that I am having a bit of food after this game, hopefully, depending on how long the delay is going to be and if there's going to be a third game or not. If it's anything like the previous game, there's not going to be a first game. But it will depend, like, if there's any more lag spikes from 2K, you know, that's not going to be a good thing for Insidious Gaming, though they don't really have that squishy heroes this time. Like, Weaver is definitely one of the squishiest carries that you can get.
Well, OD is also rather squishy.
But he has an Ezreal Imprisonment.
Yeah, he has a survivability-ish spell. It's not as good for getting away as Shikuchi or Time-Lapse, really. Venge is also a kind of squishy hero. Chen, like, you can make arguments that a lot of these heroes are somewhat squishy. They're not like Weaver, where you have to start the game with like 400 HP, but they're not tanky by any means either, except for Lifestealer.
True. Let's see. Rattlesnake's taking their time for this last pickup. They had, of course, almost their... They had 1 minute and 47 seconds left in their bonus time when they went into this pick. And they just used all their time to think about this. Of course, they can also decide how Insidious Gaming is going to run this, as the Luna is the call for Rattlesnakes. Well, this is gonna make the lanes even more interesting. How do you think they're gonna run this? Batrider still mid or Tide mid?
I think it's probably Nyx mid, Batrider off, Naga Tide Luna lane.
Hey.
They could also run Naga mid with like Nyx support very easily.
You know Zao8 ran Tidehunter mid last Sunday?
Did he?
Yes, and he
I
won.
didn't see that game. Well, I mean, that seems sweet, and I want it to happen. I don't know if it'll happen.
I hope it will happen.
But
come on, Luo, Tidehunter mid.
Yeah, that does seem really sweet. Alright. Alright. I don't know if you want to set Tide hit mid against Outworld, but, like, alright.
No.
Let's pick Nature's Prophet. Alright, that's really crazy. They have 2 junglers, and Nature's Prophet's going to be probably offlane then.
Kabu Tide, never mind.
I think, like, sending Tidehunter mid against OD is just begging for that lane to get absolutely destroyed, and your Tide to never do anything.
Yeah, but it's a Tidehunter.
No, I agree.
You can
It'd
win
be
all
really
the
sweet.
lanes.
It's just a bad matchup. A real bad matchup.
I guess. Could have been better
I think-
ones. Up against the Magnus, you might be able to do okay.
It's possible. I think Nyx is fine, though. Nyx is probably a good mid here against the OD. That also might be a reason they picked up Nyx really early. They were just always planning on sending it mid against OD. He has a very high int,
Yeah.
so your mana burn does a lot of damage to him.
And one thing that I actually am missing today, like overall, no Razor picks nor bans. We've seen a lot of Razor yesterday and the day before, but today is like he's evaporated.
And I cannot say I'm sad. I hate that hero.
Yeah? Huh.
Yeah, not a fan of Razor. Not a fan. I am a fan of when people build refresher agonyms on it, though, so... That's sweet.
That is sweet. Okay, so Rattlesnake, Dire side Lanham will play the Nyx Assassin. He looks to be going middle indeed. As you pointed out, a good counter towards that OD. Still saving up for his fast battle. Luo will take on the carry role on the Luna. It will be IC playing the Batrider on the off lane, meaning that Sagam is a support on the Naga Siren and Akabu is a support on the Tidehunter. And those are going to be the lanes, as there might be a bit of a skirmish here. Ninja Boogie has to just run and should be able to. Yeah, it's not going to be any level 1 engagement, I think.
Yep, for Insidious, they're going to be on the rain side, and yeah, they're going to be able to get away from here very easily. They don't have a long-range stun. We're going to have Ninja Boogie on the Lifestealer farming down that bottom lane, supported by Mr. Kyo on the Vengeful Spirit, and Smurf is going to be on the Chen. Mid lane, that's going to be Chibi, playing the Outworld Devourer, and then finally the off lane will be Wraith Blue on the Nature's Prophet.
Yep, and he has got a nice staff, doesn't he? Oh, wow. I just saw...
The Eagle staff?
Yeah, actually I saw only one side of it, and that makes it look a lot more special, but oh well. Not the case, not the case. I have it too, and then it's all of a sudden not as special anymore. So, it will be a safe lane, trial lane for both teams, meaning that a lot of stacking and pulling can happen, meaning that these two supports on Rattlesnake that are so level dependent might be getting their level 6 at a reasonable timing. Both, of course, having a big ultimate that they have a big impact with if they get it fast enough. In the meantime, on the bottom lane also should be safe farming. Of course, also Mr. Kyo, one that has a big impact at level 6, and also one that has a big impact at level 6 is the Chen, who will be in the jungle. Therefore, Insidious Gaming is actually getting ahead a little bit more than Rattlesnake, because they have got actual junglers as semi-supports, as we already have got a go up on the Batrider. The open wounds are there. This is going to be the first blood. Icy goes down. That was fast. Magic missile, open wounds, it's all that it took.
Yeah, that was pretty fast. So First Blood does go the way of Insidious, and already looking better for their trial in this game than it was in the last one. For them to be able to get that kill on the Batrider. I really don't think Icy should have been able to die there, but I guess he just was a little too far forward. The disables are pretty okay. Open wounds is definitely a very strong ability even at level 1. Magic missile's kind of meh early on. It only stuns for like a second. I guess it's 1.5.
Yeah, but it's enough of a setup to go for the open wounds, of course.
Right, just to get the range nowadays that they nerfed it, so you have to be really close, which is all you need. So yeah, First Blood is going to go the way of Insidious, and that gives Lifestealer a pretty good advantage in a lane that can otherwise be somewhat frustrating. Mana burn continues to come out from Lanham in the mid lane on Chibi, though. It's probably also frustrating for him.
Yeah, so far in terms of last hits, Chibi sitting on 8-5 with Lanham sitting on 4-0. So Chibi at least getting a bit ahead in terms of last hits, but yeah, it's a very annoying lane to be on with the mana burn doing just tons of damage. In the meantime, we've got a haste rune being saved up. Will be picked up by the Vengeful Spirit, and they'll see if they can take down Icy again, but he is out safe. In the meantime, the tier 1 tower on the top lane is dropping. Kabu taking up quite a bit of harassment, but has a salve. But the tier 1 tower will end up going down. And this is actually surprising that none of the supports is on the lane, as in on the neutrals, to try and pull the lane back after taking out the tower. Luo, Icy rather, stuns again, and that's going to be another kill going the way of SheeverGaming. This time Wraith Blue comes in to take down the kill and mass disconnect. Oot, wow. Take down tower, disconnect.
That's really unfortunate. That explains why suddenly Kabu got the last hit on the tower. I was wondering why like all the heroes stopped moving and it was just Tidehunters attacked the tower once. Yeah, I hope that Icy died just, I guess, by getting caught, not because of the disconnect, which I guess it sounds bad, but you don't ever want to see in a game like a player die just because like there was a disconnect for his team and his team didn't.
I think he would have died anyway. I still used Firefly to try and get away, and then he
That's I thought so too, and I'm like hoping that is the case sort of for the sake of fairness, but yeah, whatever. Top tier 1 goes down. Looks like bottom tier 1 will be going down as well with the Chen there.
Yeah, fortification of course used, but both teams having the same results out of this one, apart from of course Rattlesnake already losing their offlaner twice. And that's pretty painful. And Wraith Blue coming in to take the kill. He is of course building towards a fast hand of Midas. Let's have a base race at level 3 at minute 3, right?
I mean, I've seen like stuff like this happen before, where both teams think that the other team will just back down and they can get some free auto attacks on a tier 3, and then suddenly both tier 3s take damage inexplicably. I don't expect it to happen here. Neither of these, I guess maybe with Chen and Nature's Prophet, Sidious could try, but Rattlesnake don't really have a lot of pushing power here, so I don't expect to see them go try and hit high ground.
Well, the question is, will they try and go defend it, because it is indeed Rattlesnakes that backs up first, but it doesn't look like they're trying to force SheeverGaming away, because they're still here.
Yeah, I don't think they can really force them back. It looks like they're just going to give up that tower. It'd be pretty difficult for them to get in here in a position to defend.
Again. Oh.
So they're probably just going to have to sacrifice this tier 2 tower in the bottom lane. I'm somewhat surprised that Icy's actually still hanging out around here. He's already died twice, which is really not what you want to be doing. He might just want to go jungle and try and get some levels up. Especially considering that this lane is already, like, he's not saving the towers anyways, obviously. The second one already is about to be going down 4 minutes in, so it might just be more efficient for him to head to the jungle and try and work out there, as long as they don't touch the tier 3.
Yeah, and there's nobody in the jungle. As in, you know, if it was on the side of the Radiant, you've got and the Chan and the Nature's Prophet in the jungle. But his jungle is totally unoccupied, and he could definitely go here. There are some stacks here already done. Only one actually. So that will help him later on. But yeah, he needs something to get himself ready to fight, because the way this is going, Insidious is getting ahead. And they actually this time have a lineup that can really start to thrive from that one and just, you know, continue to lay down pressure. Reconnecting to Scape. Cool. And then we have ourselves the rest of the game. But yeah, SheeverGaming off to a good start.
Yeah, definitely looking a lot stronger than they did in the last game, where they kind of just faltered in their tri lane. Obviously, their soul lane wasn't going to go their way, and then like mid was a wash. So not really getting a huge advantage in any lane, and very, very, very badly losing one lane. Doesn't work out well for you. This game, everything's a lot closer. Luna's getting good farm, but they have the advantage just from those couple kills that they managed to get on Icy.
I see I see Sad. I see now going into the jungle. Probably heard our cast. Actually no, he's just gonna come back. Never mind, he's not hearing the cast. So in the meantime, Luo is still trying to pressure down the tier 2 a little bit, while his team is actually now finally pulling the lane back. So that means that they are gonna be you know, giving that tier 2 tower a break. And just making sure that the supports get some more out of this as well. Can actually jungle a little bit. In the meantime, there is a double damage rune up on the next assassin, who is completely out of mana. Does have a full bottle, but we'll see. Chibix himself sitting on 19 to 13, and he is definitely winning this lane still up against his next assassin, who is 10 to 2. But he is almost level 6, and when he gets level 6, he might rotate and try to find, for example, a Vengeful Spirit that's level 3.
Yeah, it's not particularly surprising that Chivix would be winning regardless of one of the, I would say it's a better matchup than many heroes against the OD. It's still an OD, and you have a lot of base damage, you're a ranged hero going up against a melee, so you're going to come out ahead. Lanham's doing pretty okay though, he's gotten 15 last hits, he's only down by like 6, that's pretty fine against an OD, even if OD does have 13 denies. Yeah.
It's experience that's making a big difference here, but on the bright side, no mana up on Chibix means he can't really go for an attempted kill up on Lanham. In the meantime, the tier 2 top, or sorry, bottom rather, still dies, of course, no surprise there. But everybody else backs out, and it looks like we're gonna see Vengeful Spirit just also now maybe try to stack and pull a little bit, just to get the lane back in favor of their map side. And just start to, you know, safe farm a little bit more. Not go for tier 3, of course, then they might force out fights that they're not ready to take just yet.
Chibix is actually rushing the Force Staff. He hasn't done. He hasn't even picked up boots yet, and he has Force Staff completed. It's obviously a very early Force Staff, but I don't know if you really just want that as your first item before even basic boots. It's kind of strange.
Who needs boots if you're just standing still and hit stuff and kill stuff, right?
Yeah, but like people will walk away from you.
True.
That's an ability that he doesn't have a slow, he doesn't have a stun. They'll just walk away. Nyx is kind of fast with his boots.
Yeah, Nyx will also have an Invis rune next to his Vendetta, so happy times for him. And let's see if he's gonna make it or use it, make something out of it. In the meantime, there is a rotation from Smurf and Mr. Keo. I don't think they can find Lanham though. I mean, and he has 2 escape mechanisms. Do they have any detection? They probably do. Sentry Ward already goes down. That's 1 down. They still have 3 in the inventory of Smurf. So they come definitely prepared to take down this Nyx assassin. There comes Astral Imprisonment. In comes the rest. TP in from Nature's Prophet as well. And that should be 1 dead Nyx assassin. Invis Rune and Vendetta. Sentry Wards. He is actually going to be able to get away. He'll live.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that OD doesn't have boots.
No magic missile.
Yeah, I think he got out of range. Magic Missile doesn't actually have a lot of range.
No, but he could have done that earlier.
Yeah, like when he was netted, I think he could have gotten it then, but like once he waited the second trying to like maybe chain stun perfectly or something.
Yeah.
It was too far just because he's very quick. And again, Magic Missile's like very, very short range. They're gonna get this tower though, so worse things have happened. I'm sure they would have liked to kill the Nyx, but getting a free tier 1 out of it, and again a last hit on Lifestealer, that's pretty fine.
Yeah, and on top of that, they do get the Vendetta out of the system for now, as that would of course be a very highly used killing tool. In the meantime, the supports of Rattlesnake is not just to the point where they can actually fight. We've got a level 4 Naga Siren, and we've got a Tidehunter also level 4, so that's kind of hurting them right now, because this is the time where, you know, SheeverGaming is pushing in with 5 people. Or well, 3 rather, 3 or 4. Wait a second, that's just fine. It's just Smurf in the Dire Jungle. But this is the time where you want to answer that push with the 5-man team fight. But you don't have the heroes to do that yet. Vendetta being used, Lanham looking for a pick off, walking right past some sentry wards, and yeah, there's a lot of sentry wards up there. You should be very careful.
Yeah, and he knows that there's a sentry ward there too, unless he was completely oblivious when he was running away there to them dropping the ward behind him. Regardless, he's going to place his other ward here. They don't have any more sentries to counter that, at least not right in there. Oh yeah, they do. Chen has another one.
Yeah, Chen actually had 4 sentries in his back when he went for the gank.
Oh, I thought he only had 2, but he has 4. Okay, so he's got a ton of sentries. They really don't want to deal with Nyx this game. Yeah, Tidehunter, he's still not level 6, only staying at level 4. Naga's up to level 5. I think they really need to get level 6 in these heroes and try and take a fight to just, like, slow Insidious up, maybe give them some pause in this game. Because as it stands now, they're kind of slowly losing, or maybe even quickly losing, whatever little control they do have over the map.
Yeah, I'm kind of like they should be keeping the pressure on, but they're just giving time to Rattlesnakes to get their farm up. We have Icy rotating top. He actually almost has his blink dagger ready. He died twice there on the bottom lane, couldn't get a single thing there, and now he is almost gonna blink dagger still at a reasonably okay timing. He is gonna be the target of a gank again though, perhaps, or at least they are finding him again. It is Icy that will fly up. He doesn't have any supports incoming. He does have a lasso, but probably does not want to force anything out now that he has. No, he's so close to his blink dagger.
Yeah, I think it's more incidental that they're just walking up there to get this tier 1 tower and Icy happened to be there. They're not like specifically targeting him. They probably are aware that his blink dagger is either up or coming up shortly, just based on how long it's been, and he obviously went to jungle. You can jungle very quickly. As a Bat Rider, regardless though, this tower is going to go down. Rattlesnake can't defend it, at least not until they have level 6 up on some of these heroes. And yeah, they're running out of towers to give up. They really need level 6 on these supports.
Whoa.
Icy, double damage OD is not a very pleasant thing.
No, but he actually used his Eclipse for that as well. But he does. He did pick up Tread, so he is mighty fast once more. Tier 1 tower top goes down. Sagam doesn't yet. Wishes he had it, and he actually has it. He's forced to use it.
Oh wow.
That is, and a song on cooldown for 3 minutes. And
That's
a kill
real
for
bad.
Chibix, a solo kill. The Bat Rider has his blink dagger though. They have one hope left. Because well, and they Ravage soon.
I'm not sure why Naga was there. They knew OD was in their jungle on that side. That's one of the most likely paths for him to take back, just to the mid lane to go farm. I don't know, I think that was really weird play by Sagam, and then he gets picked off using the song as he dies. So he still dies and he puts the cooldown up for 3 minutes. And they know it, so they're going to be able to just continue the pressure. They've taken all but one outer tower. Rattlesnake looking way out on the back foot in this game, which is surprising after how dominant they looked in the first one.
Yeah, I fully agree. But they are on the back foot. We have a BKB being built up on Luo. I think once they have their levels ready, like once they have the levels to actually team fight, they're still in an okay shape. But they have to start showing for it soon, because the way this is going, Insidious Gaming, they don't really want to back off. They don't really need to back off until
they have the Ravage now.
Yeah, until Rattlesnake shows that they have indeed a team fight going for them. Insidious Gaming will not back off, but they have a blink dagger. Icy not able to find anybody with this flame for Firefly though. Tornadoes in the meantime flying from Chen. That's really annoying. Forcing everybody back, and of course putting the blink dagger on cooldown from Icy, so he can't blink and lasso someone.
He also can't just like safely blink lasso anyone right now, which is a problem. Until you have Force Staff, you can't actually use it very effectively in team fights. If there are a lot of heroes around you blink in, you're likely to just be in trouble.
He lassos someone though. He lassos the OD, but he is the one that goes down. Here comes the Ravage. OD will still end up going down. Eclipse being used as well. Ninja Boogie trying to run. It is Kabu that will be on the run as well though, and he'll be the one to go down to the Chen. Down goes the Tout Hunter. Vendetta being used, but Hand of God keeps everybody up of Insidious Gaming, and they go for Luo next. Luo, who doesn't have his BKB yet, and it shows, goes down to the infest damage from Ninja Boogie. That's 4 dead on Rattlesnake, with only the OD as a sacrifice for Insidious Gaming. Brilliant fight for them, and that just shows that mechanism, that Hand of God, is just enough to win them team fights. Ravage, okay, there was no song, of course, to set things up with. There's no Force Staff on the Bat Rider, so his lasso didn't really do that much, I think. And where's the damage gonna come from? Who is doing the damage? It's not Luo.
Yeah, I mean, the lasso set up the fight pretty decently by getting Chibix killed, but you're correct completely. They don't have any damage. They don't have any follow-up right now. Nyx isn't really doing particularly well. He's only level 8, so he's not hitting very hard. He's only at the level 1 in Vendetta, and you know he just can't really burst anyone down like he wants to. Only level 1 Eclipse to come out from Luna also doesn't really do that much in a big team fight this early on. It's better if you're fighting 1, maybe 2 heroes, like in the forest or something, not fighting a team fight. So they just, like the Ravage hit, it got almost everyone. It didn't get Lifestealer because he was already raged, but they just couldn't kill anyone except the OD who was already almost dead.
Yeah, that was the first kill of the game for Rattlesnakes.
Yeah, they only had to give up 4 to get it.
Yep. Were these sacrificed? Nope. We have our outer towers dead. Roshan is alive. I don't think for much longer. normal situation, you'd see someone or team take down all outer towers, go for Roshan, go high ground, and I don't think that Insidious Gaming will be any different.
Yeah, and I mean they have such a lead right now, and you'd say it'd probably be almost silly to try and wait any longer. As some levels start to come up on these heroes for Rattlesnake, they can definitely have a little bit more success in these fights. It's just there's no reason to let them get those levels. They're so far ahead, and they're a lot stronger right now. They can just continue to force the issue.
Yeah, no real reason to stop. I mean, they just felt the team fight of Rattlesnake.
There's a gem up on Chen now.
Yeah, I mean, no Nyx Assassin ganks anymore. Who is, by the way, doing that right now, and he is gonna get stunned and netted and killed off. Gets an impale off, but never mind that.
So yeah, that went well.
Yep, nice gank. That's the gem working out. And that means that the ganking potential from the Nyx Assassin is, or from Rattlesnakes in general, is a lot less. They rely heavily on that Bat Rider right now, but without a Force Staff, he can't really hope to get that much done.
Yeah, it's just really hard to get the pickoffs without a way to actually pull them quickly to where your team is, even with the Blink Dagger. You can get in there really quickly, you can get the lasso on the person you want. You just can't really pull them out of position until you get that Force Staff up. But here we go, like you said, Roshan's down. They're going to give it to OD. That's probably very, very wise. Lifestealer is not particularly likely to die, especially by comparison to the OD, who is very squishy.
He's got a 100% death rate if it's up to Rattlesnakes. He's the only one that died so far.
Yeah, oh my god, Chivix, what a feeder. He's every death on their team.
It's going to be a setup to take down Luo. Can they get it done? Here comes the magic missile. He's almost up the high ground, but it's not gonna happen. In comes the Eclipse as well. Takes down half of the HP of Lanham. In comes the Infest out. Lanham gets prodded up. Actually saves his life because Ninja Boogie can't get in range, and the Vendetta will allow him to get away. There goes the last two. And the swap puts Ninja Boogie into safety. Astral Imprisonment stops Icy from going in. And there is a Ravage, but there's no mana up on Kabu. Can't do anything. Sagam does have the song and Mana Boots. He could help Kabu with those Mana Boots. Help Kabu with Mana Boots. No? That's a bit of a shame now, isn't it? It's gonna be Kabu dead before he can do anything. No Mana Boots by Lanham. He actually used it while the Astral Imprisonment was going on. That's gonna be a tier 3, if not more, by Insidious Gaming. For Insidious Gaming, who look pretty dominant. They're 12k gold ahead. They are almost 6k experience ahead, and I don't think they're gonna back off anytime soon. Oh look, maybe they're forced to. Song.
Well,
what are they gonna do with this?
Yeah.
There's no Ravage. There is an Eclipse, but there's tons of creeps.
Nope, nothing. Oh no! Oh no! They were probably gonna do something. Now they're doing nothing. Well, I think you call GG. Go next. After that thing,
they were gonna make their last stand.
Yeah,
it was their moment.
They have no setup at all now. They're just like, go. Yeah, G.
Yeah, there's only one though. Nyx Assassin.
Yeah.
Will get taken down. One more hit. Magic Missile to finish the job. Buyback from the Nyx Assassin. Ownage being called. They still have only got that one kill that they had earlier. In comes the Nyx Assassin again. Goes for Mana Bird up on Chibi. Flame Break doing a little bit of damage. Kabu does have a Ravage, and they fight Ninja Boogie out of position. Perhaps they can take him down. In comes the Eclipse. Chibi taking quite a bit of damage from that, but not enough just yet. They go back to Ninja Boogie, who will indeed be the one to fall. That's their second kill of the game. Would have hoped that he right now would have, another net. Go for Mr. Kyo. Mr. Kyo dies. Oh, nice Ravage. Also catches Chivix. Nice Impale as well. Smurf will be the next one. Aegis gets popped. That's gonna be Smurf. One more hit, people. Blink forward, there we go, gem on the floor, Chibix is back to life, and he is gonna go for this. Infest out from Ninja Boogie, last two up on Ninja Boogie as well though. Is there gonna be enough damage is the question. Swap into safety, that's gonna be Lanham going down again to the Magic Missile. Luo getting picked off as well, and they try to chase down the last remaining survivors of Rattlesnake. Rattlesnake who just almost won their first fight of the game, but kinda overextended slightly.
Yeah. That happened. It was a really good Ravage.
It was.
To come out from Tidehunter. I'm not sure he knew that he was going to get everybody and that they were like turning that corner. Oh yeah, they definitely did. They had this ward over here. So yeah, it was a great Ravage. He completely timed it well, caught them, set up a bunch of those kills. Unfortunately, like Insidious is so far ahead, they almost all had buyback. Yeah. So they just all bought back, and Rattlesnake was way out of position at that point. Continuing to try and chase, get whatever advantage they could out of the fight, and then they ended up losing some of it.
Yeah,
it was a good fight anyways for how far behind they were. And also that disconnect.
Watching the chat when the disconnect happens, I mean, it's such a shame. You wonder what they could have done with that, although they wouldn't have had a Ravage. I'm not quite sure what they could have done with that, but...
I don't know. I mean, I think they could have gotten a 4-man impale. There were 4 of them in a line. I think Nyx could have hit a 4-man impale pretty easy.
Oh, that's a mini Ravage.
Yeah, like a 4-man impale is really big. That's a really good thing to hit.
Nope. Unfortunately, though, didn't happen. Bottom lane is where it's at right now. We have got Icy still hanging around. He's got that 4-staff almost done. Kabu doesn't have a Ravage for another 35 seconds. We haven't got a song just yet for another 15 seconds. And Luo Eclipse back in 25 seconds. So that's going to be hopefully up for them by the time that the next real push is coming in for Insidious Gaming.
Yeah, I don't know if Insidious are going to wait at all. They're just going to keep going, I think. They did lose Aegis. They lost a lot of heroes. They're not going to have buybacks. It's possible they could slow it down a little bit and step back and try and just farm up, but I think they want to try and get one more lane down and just completely close Rattlesnake out of this game.
There's a Bikabino up on Luo, though. The Luna has that one, so who knows? I mean, one song. There is a song. This time they don't disconnect. Here comes a song. No disconnect. In comes the Bear Rider. Flames are there. Kabu looking for the Ravage. He gets hexed because he walked out too far. No Ravage. Eclipse goes down. There's the Ravage still. And it is the Chen that still dies. Nature's Prophet goes down as well. Can they find more? Eclipse being used. Luo still ends up going down. Astral Imprisonment will keep the OD safe for a little while. But maybe they can still chase him down. Maybe they can get him. Mr. Kyo still alive in this as well with the Magic Missile doing some work here. And it is 4 dead on the side of Rattlesnake. 2 buybacks already used. And oh my god, walking out so far that you pass the Naga Siren and Naga Siren doesn't sleep the OD is kind of painful when your Tidehunter gets hexed. Kabu, open wounds. Here's a blink forward though from Icy, who actually goes down for that. Gosh up on Mr. Kyo, doesn't reach the Anchor Smash though, and it is the Tide that goes down. GG gets called. That's gonna be the second game of this series. We're gonna see a third game between Insidious Gaming and Rattlesnake. One game very one-sided for Rattlesnake, the other one very one-sided for Insidious Gaming. I'm curious to see what game 3 brings.
Yeah, I mean, you could say like the positioning maybe was bad by Tidehunter there from the walk out a little too far. But the bigger problem is it was 20 minutes in and OD had Scythe.
Yeah, he was very far ahead.
Just kind of the story of that game. OD had Scythe at 20 minutes, as well as his 4-staff and his boots. Yeah, so hopefully next game will be closer because thus far in the first 2, they were stomped. And surprisingly, one went one way, one went the other.
Yeah, let's see what we can get in the second game, or third game rather, because of course that's where we're heading towards. We are watching the AMD Premier League quarterfinals. One of these 2 teams will make it to the semifinals, the other will get dropped out. It is a single elimination bracket, so this is the only chance they have left. Just one more game, the third game of the series. Stick around for Rattlesnake taking on Insidious Gaming.